Good evening, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for watching TCM. First 3 Wednesdays in May are set aside for Hollywood biopics, that is, biopics about Hollywood. We begin tonight with the story of a director whose films are often hard to describe. Are they merely bad, or are they the twisted work of a demented genius, or something in between? From 1994, this is Ed Wood. Johnny Depp stars as Ed Wood Jr. He stages comically awful plays with his girlfriend Dolores, played by Sarah Jessica Parker, and an entourage of oddball friends and outcasts. But Wood, overflowing with optimism, despite his rather obvious lack of skills, longs to make it in the movies. A producer of exploitation pictures agrees to give Wood a shot to direct his first film. Wood promises to bring a little star power to his production, even if that particular star has dimmed quite a bit. It's Bela Lugosi. Lugosi is channeled here by Martin Landau in an amazing Oscar-winning performance. Ed Wood focuses much of its story on Lugosi's final days and the unexpected and touching friendship that develops between the faded star and the deluded director. While Ed Wood, the person, is often called the worst director who ever lived, which is highly debatable, there is no doubt that he created films that are somewhat watchable and arguably compelling in their own unconventional way. Ed Wood had a style all his own. I mean, who else has made movies memorable enough to have their story brought to life in a big screen Hollywood film by a filmmaker as talented as Tim Burton, who's sort of a bit like Ed Wood, but, great at his job. Tim Burton, no stranger to telling affectionate stories of misfits, was the perfect choice to direct Ed Wood. The movie's top-notch screenplay comes from longtime writing partners Scott Alexander and Larry Karaszewski. Alexander and Karaszewski have carved out an impressive resume and a particular niche, specializing in empathetic screenplays about Hollywood outsiders, like the publisher of Hustler magazine and The People vs. Larry Flynt from 1996, starring Woody Harrelson, Andy Kaufman in Man on the Moon, released in 1999 with Jim Carrey, and blaxploitation star Rudy Ray Moore, played by Eddie Murphy in the 2019 biopic Dolomite Is My Name. This one's from 1994, also with Patricia Arquette, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Bill Murray. This is Tim Burton's Ed Wood. Ed Wood's movie career was far from over after the release of Plan 9 from Outer Space. While Wood never achieved the Hollywood success he dreamed of, he kept busy on the fringes of the movie business. In 1965, he worked on a film with a fellow director who would become a frequent collaborator, Stephen C. Apostoloff. The film they made, Orgy of the Dead, which Wood wrote and Apostoloff directed, is a typically bizarre work featuring Wood's psychic friend Criswell and a bevy of topless dancers. Wood and Apostoloff collaborated on a series of sexploitation films throughout the 1970s. Wood began to write, direct, and even appear in X-rated features and shorts. The disreputable nature of Wood's work makes it hard to assess and catalog his output during the 1970s. In recent years, previously lost or unknown films have surfaced on boutique home video labels catering to obsessive Ed Wood fans, and there are many of them. Suffering from alcoholism and bouncing from home to home, Ed Wood died in 1978 at the age of just 54. There is one intriguing project Wood was working on in his last days, now believed lost, a story based on Bela Lugosi's final years called Lugosi Post-Mortem. Of course, Ed Wood's cult status only grew stronger after the 1994 release of the touching Tim Burton biopic we just had. Coming up, Leonardo DiCaprio stars as Howard Hughes in Martin Scorsese's look at 2 decades in the life of the eccentric billionaire. from 2004, The Aviator, is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, The Aviator, then Too Much Too Soon. And later, the George Raft story, Art Imitates Life on TCM Tonight.